to make you take on a different mindset that you was never purposed to take on. See, when you do not understand your identity, when you do not understand, amen, what God has placed within you, you'll start mimicking the world instead of mimicking Christ. You will start following after the world instead of the world following after you, because you really don't know yourself. And when you don't know yourself, when you don't know your identity, it is a meditation problem. Hallelujah. But he says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the word transform is the word metamorphosis, which means, literally like Bruce Lee said, be like water.
Yes.
In other words, change your essence. Change who you are inwardly. Because whatever you are inwardly is a replica of God. Now, who is God? Theologically speaking, who is God? God is everything. God is who he is. The Hebrews call it Eya Esher Eya. I am that I am. Whatever God wants to be, that's who he can be. So if you transform your mind, if you take on an inward stance, if you take on a different inner stance, you can become or show up to the world like you want to show up.
That's good.
You don't have to show up how the world dictates you, predicts you to show up to. Yes. You can show up like you desire to show up if you understand the mind of Christ within you. But he says, be ye transformed by the renewing. Someone said renewing. Somebody again said renewing. That means there's some things you must unlearn to take on a different nature. And what happens is a lot of believers, they're trying to take on God's principles, God's promises, but they have not unlearned some things in their life. There is no renovation of the mind. There is nothing they have let go out of the mind to take on something new. They still have their mental clutterings taking place, and therefore they have not took on the new promises or the new graces that God desires to give them. So therefore there is no change or transformation in their life. What do I mean by mental clutters? Unforgiveness, bitterness, resentfulness. When you have resentment in your heart and you're resentful towards those that did you wrong, you have not took on the mind of Christ. Disturbing, worry, fear, doubts, unbelief, negative paradigms. All those things that are operating in your mind, you must begin to be willing to unlearn them so that you may learn the mind of Christ.